Please don't gamble on another strategy that somebody says might work, will work, they think it's going to work. Do something that's guaranteed. Do the thing that you know and have the confidence is going to work. Now's not the time to gamble. Now's the time to be seen, be heard, and get paid. Let's talk a little bit about that. Hi, my name is Steve Kidd. I'm a third-generation minister, international best-selling author of 39 books and counting. I've had the amazingly wonderful privilege over this last nearly 40 years, I can't believe it, that I've spent working as a marketing expert, working with over 5,000 people on their books, helping them write, publish, market it to bestseller, and everything that goes beyond that. We have an incredibly unheard of 100% success getting books on the bestseller list, but that's not where it stops. That is literally only the beginning. Oh my gosh. Do you ever catch yourself, a view of yourself and critique yourself harshly? I just did that to me. But really, even with all of the egocentric feelings that I'm having about myself, the truth of the matter is that we're here for you. We have a system in place for you that we guarantee will work, will help you, will get you the exposure, the following, the stuff that you really need, not so that you can gamble on another strategy, but so that you can competently, really, truly do the things that you need to do in order to be able to really begin to make an impact. You see your book, okay? And you can be like I am. You can have a couple of your books sitting there on the side of your desk. And, they don't really do you any good sitting on the corner of your desk. Your books are only as good as they're in the hands of somebody. And your book ultimately really is just the best landing page that's ever existed. We talked about this yesterday, about not spending, trying to spend 20, 30 seconds and craft the best 20 or 30 second pitch in a reel, in a landing page, and those kind of things to try to be able to convince somebody to then spend $5, $500, $5,000 with you. You need the people to know, like, and trust you. And that comes from the 3 C's, okay? The 3 C's are clarity, consistency, and connection. Okay, now I'm going to take those backwards. Connection is about your desire to truly help people. It's a heart condition. It is you really, truly wanting to connect. You wanting to make a difference in the world, in the space that you're in. Okay? Clarity on the other end of it. And these aren't like a 1, 2, 3 system. They're like all together. They're like, you put your hand together and you make a clench fist. They are all it's an all or nothing proposition. They all have to come together and you need to use all of them. Okay? Clarity on the other side of that, on the other side of the coin, if you will, of connection is clarity. You need to know who you are, what you're passionate about, but not just what you're passionate about. Why are you passionate about that? And how can you use that to help the who you're meant to speak to, that person you want to connect with? See how they come together? Okay, you have that deep desire inside of you. I want to connect. Well, you need to know who you want to connect with. Because the truth of the matter is honestly, you don't want to connect with everybody. I love how Seth Godin put it. Better to have 100 raving fans than 10,000 people who could care less. You need to connect to the people. You need to connect powerfully to the people that you're intended to, meant to, designed to connect with. And you need to have that clarity. You need to be clear who they are, and you need to be clear who you are. And then you need to be clear on the what am I talking about and why. A lot of us know what we're passionate about. We can have a topic come up, And we can rant and rave and go on about it forever. We all know that about ourselves, and we all know with our partner, or our children or our parents, the things that really rile them up and get them going. But most people do not take the time to go deeper into the why. Why is that important to you? Why does that matter? And you need to understand that so that you can then do the most important part of all of that. You can have all the clarity and all the connection, desire in the world. But the thing that connects that desire inside of you and the clarity of who you are and who you're meant to serve, the thing that connects all of that together is consistency. If you come out once and you just put out a post, I mean, in this AI-driven world, let's be real. If you put out one post, it's going to be beyond buried. It's going to be beyond invisible. I'm just telling you. Okay? I mean, the ghost that lives in your house that moves things around, for those of you that have that, or you know, it is more visible than what you'll be with just that one post ever. It could be powerful. It could be the best post in the world. I'm not saying that you can't do one post and have it go viral. Absolutely, it could. But the fact of the matter is if you don't follow that one post up, even if it hits hundreds of thousands of tens of millions of people, if you don't follow it up with something, with it consistently something, you're going to disappear. You will be invisible. That post might be really cool for a day, a week, maybe even a whole month if you really, really, really went viral with it. But it's going to go away. It's going to be today's latest trend, today's latest fad. We can think about all of the posts that people did. Okay, and let's think about some of the trends in the fashions. The one that came to my mind is the ice bucket challenge. Now, there's been several others, and we won't even get into the eating Tide Pods. I don't know who came up with that craziness. But, you know, I think of the ice bucket challenge. It was highly popular, and everybody was going on TikTok or Instagram or both, you know, and posting a video of them dumping a bucket of ice water on themselves. Okay. And the person who started that got hundreds of millions of views, exposure, all that kind of stuff. And there are other people, most of them, let's be real, the ones that really, really took off were the beautiful people when you start talking about some of those. You know, you want to see certain people either because you want to delight in the pain that it's inflicting on somebody that's a little semi-famous or very famous, or because, you know, you just want to see that beautiful person get all soaking wet. Okay, I mean, it's just the reality, all right? But, you know, for a minute that worked. But now, when was the last time you saw an ice bucket challenge? Consistency. Okay? And not consistency on a trend, but consistency on being who you are. Why am I telling you all these things when I started off talking about gambling? Because all of those things are a gamble. All of those things that are coming across your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your YouTube, your Instagram reels, all of those things that are popping up on you that are really interesting, and, you know, they may even suck you in. Those are here today, gone today. I mean, it's not even anymore in the world where it's like here today, gone tomorrow. It's literally a here today, gone today kind of a situation anymore. We need to have more than that. We need to have consistency of the clarity that is what we're really supposed to do. Hey, Mr. Dad, glad to have you here with us. That's what's going to make the difference. That consistency. So you want to connect, you do connect through consistency. You want to be clear. You are clear. You share that clarity through consistency. Consistently connecting with the people in a clear way, the people that you're meant to serve. Not everybody. You don't have to reach everybody in the world. I'll say it again. Better to have 100 raving fans than 10,000 people who could care less. Don't gamble on this thing because it catches your attention and it's the next shiny bauble. It's the next squirrel, you know. Don't gamble on the thing that sounds too good to be true, because here's the fact. And I've been teaching this in sales and marketing for 30 plus, more than that, almost 40 years now. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. If it's cheap enough, if somebody wants to, like say, 99 cents, try this thing out. Okay. If it's cheap enough, hey, Jackson, glad to have you here with us. If it's cheap enough, you can give it a try, but that's gambling. Okay, it's just like if you go into, I'll never forget the first time that I was in a casino, okay? And I've been in some a few times. Life is too short to not try. It's always good to fail. Then you know what not to do. Yes, you always should try things. And it's important to know where the threshold is. That's what I'm saying. If it's 99 cents, give it a shot. If it's more than that, you might want to think about it. Like you said, I think of the first time I went into a casino, and I was sitting there. Actually, I was literally watching somebody else playing a slot machine. The lady I was then married to. And I was sitting next to one of those old school slot machines, the one-arm bandit, three cherries kind of a deal. And it was like a quarter for one pull. Okay. So I dropped a quarter in the machine. I had a quarter. All right. Pulled the lever because I always had wanted to try that. It's like pull the lever on the one-armed bandit, and sure enough, I got, and I don't know that I got three. Anyway, I won, and I won like massive amount of money. I won like $3 or $5. Okay. Woohoo, let's retire on that. It's the way gambling works. You see something that's cheap enough like that, go ahead and give it a try. But don't gamble the future of your life, your business, your company. Okay? That's for the quarters in your pocket. That's for the dollar bills that, are okay to be able to spend. Spend the $10 or the $15 here or there on the thing that sounds like it might be worth it. Yes, absolutely. Like Mr. Dad said, give it a try. But for the people you're meant to serve, you need to not gamble. You need to be visible, clearly, powerfully, massively visible. Because when you're visible, that's when you're going to be valuable. And you need to be visible where the people are. Where are the people? They're not in your house. I've got these 2 books right here that I lifted up and showed to you. Okay? Nobody, including the 2 people that I live with, are coming in and saying, hey, can I borrow that book so I can read them? Okay? They're reading, fiction and novels and things like that. It's not that they probably don't know that I have books. They're not my ideal client. There is the person that the book is meant for. And there are definitely people that have gotten copies of bestsellers only the beginning. How can I help you today? Magnetized Media, and the list goes on of my books. And we've made every single one of them a #1 international bestseller. That was the day one launch strategy. Now the concept is, and I'm rewriting bestsellers only the beginning on purpose for this exact purpose. We did the same thing. We used Magnetized Media to show you we can pop that book up to #1 pretty much on demand, and we keep it in the top 10 constantly. And now I'm pulling back the curtain for you. I'm going to say to you, absolutely, this is absolutely a built system. And the place you want to be visible on is Amazon if you have a book. You want your book on Amazon to be seen so that your book then leads people to the things that get you paid. It's not your book. Your book always was the landing page. It's a little bit more than a business card. It's more than just your information. It is literally your capability, your earning the right to get the person to read each of the next pages, to move them forward and to get to the point where they get to the end of the book and potentially a couple of places in the book, to get to the point where they're like, hey, yeah, I need that. Help me out. You earn that right. That's what your book is for. Not to gamble on the, hey, I hope I can write the best landing page in the world and everybody will come and do it. And I hope that I can write the best ad for Facebook or Google or Amazon or whatever and get people to come and do it. A system that gets people to the book, that gets them through the book, and then gets them to the end where you can say, hey, I've got this program. This program's $5. This program's $5,000. Let's sit down and talk and see if that program's right for you. I've earned the right to do that. That's what we want to do. That's what you need to do. And we guarantee it. We know our system's going to work. We know that we're going to get you visible on Amazon and that we're going to keep you visible on Amazon. That whether you're languishing or not seen at all, that we can do something about that. What I need you to do right now is DM Amplify or comment Amplify. Let's get you started on our guaranteed 90-day human visibility program. Real reviews, real purchases, real people interacting with your book so that you really, truly are moving the Amazon algorithm in your favor. Let's do it right now. Because please don't gamble anymore on another strategy. Instead, let's do something for you that we absolutely know can work and that we guarantee it. Is that a fair deal? I hope that you're happy, you're safe, you're warm and loved, and that when we're together tomorrow, you will join us again, I hope, and we can talk about the edge that gratitude will give you in your visibility. I'm so grateful for you. Thanks for joining with me today. Until we're together again next time, I hope you have a great week.